Hello, brovs. This book, The Secret Science Behind Miracles, that I bought today was once owned by Dr. Fritz Bramig, PhD and MD, who was a local physician in the Detroit area. And at first I thought this book was about, like preachers and miracles, but it's actually about magic. You can see firewalking and magic, the incredible force used in magic, where it comes from, and some of its uses. Instant healing through the high self, the significance of seeing into the future, all that kind of stuff. Paranormal, clairvoyance, mind reading, vision, prevision, crystal gazing, and all of the psychometrically related phenomena. Discovery that may change the world. Anyway, the interest to me was the local doctor, and this is not the first local doctor's books that I've found, which contained a sort of paranormal element to them. And here's the thing about witch doctors in Australia, Aborigines, that the doctor was interested in, and Raising the Dead Temporarily, Full Materialization. It's a good book to add to my reading list. Yeah, luckily I looked inside the book, because when I first saw it, as I said, I thought it was one of those preacher books about miracles and angels. And here's some notes written by the doctor, I presume. Magic form of consciousness, mind, subconscious. But in the end, in the back pages, there is this letter to Fritz Bramig from a Dr. Danforth at the Danforth Medical Clinic. Dear Fritz, dear Dr. Bramig, I am at long last returning your book, The Secret Science Behind Miracles by Max Long. It offered fascinating reading and much conjecture of thought. I am sure you will enjoy Dr. Alice Palmer's letters from Saigon that we are printing as they are received in the Detroit Medical Bulletin. She has been there but a few months to help supervise and organize a medical school under United Nations aid. Dr. Palmer has professed utter amazement at the results of jungle medicine with the attendant voodoo rituals. Although she is appalled at the lack of scientific sanitation that prevails, she admits that the native healing techniques bordering on the mystical are fascinating and stimulate her to probe their secrets. Again, may I thank you for your courtesy. Very sincerely yours, J.C. Danforth, Jr., medical doctor. I have enclosed a few current clippings in the book that you may find interesting. I assume that's the one about the witch doctors in the middle, and then there's this clipping that's included. Experts could haunt ghost, M professor says, which is the University of Michigan. And this is about poltergeists and how much of it is related to, it's a 1958 article from the Detroit News about how much of it is explainable, and most of the belief in poltergeists are attributed to gullibility and unscientific belief. Can't really read this. What's this say? The Mysticism Cobbler by Anton Spray. Story of psychic. Can't read it. What's it say? Anyway, Detroit Medical. Come on. You can see the article one of the articles included in this. It's from the Detroit Medical College, and it was written by Mr. Danforth. From the temples of Asclepius, 20th century medicine would appear to be a science of organized investigation and research. Laboratories have become a complex maze of grotesque tubing, caged animals, and white-coated workers who, to the casual observer, even speak a separate language. From these centers of miracle workers come the tools to ease the task of the modern practitioner. Anyway, there's that. I don't know what's in the back of here. What year is this from? 60s? 62, which is fairly current with the book. Not sure I'd be very pleased if someone returned my book with clippings glued into the back. There's a mayfly. Just a piece of clipping. Vital force, mana. The author, which is obviously not Mr. Bramig, had some kind of school of thought, some mana, Max Freedom Long. Thought this book would be worth a lot more than it is, but it's not worth but $7 or $8, I think. But the ephemera in here is worth much more to me. The fire magician of whom I speak gave his performance in a small tent. The incredible force used in magic, where it comes from, and some of its uses. Anyway, Bramig was a doctor both in Detroit and Plymouth, and I found a few articles about him, nothing significant, but he definitely held the office, had a doctor's office in the Plymouth, Northville area, Detroit. And then I found he was awarded some kind of a congressional medal or president's medal for helping Germans after World War II. And there was some mention of him in a book, something about the hell of Hitler, where he saved some former Hitler youth leader and sent him food after the war. That's all. I just thought it was interesting. I will look more into both him and the good Dr. Danforth, whose office was in Grosse Pointe. I'm not sure if both of them were part of the Detroit Medical Bulletin, but at least Danforth was. Is that actually a signature? Yeah, I guess it is a signature. 60 years ago. I'll have to look into the medical clinic of Danforth. Probably should have looked in. Maybe I'll look into it now and just pause this. Hold on. I haven't found much about Mr. Dr. J.C. Danforth, but here's a mention that his father-in-law committed suicide by gas in Danforth's home. Dr. Danforth left home at 3:30 p.m. to take his family for a drive. Returning at 8:43 p.m., he found the house locked. Entering through a window by means of a ladder, Dr. Danforth found O'May's body. Alfred O'May, 81 years old, In the kitchen, all the gas jets of the cooking range had been turned on. Mr. Ome, who formerly owned a farm near Shepherd, Michigan, had made his home with his daughter, Mrs. Danforth, for 18 years. Ill health is believed by the family to have caused his action. Mr. Ome suffered a fractured leg in a fall more than a year ago. I think there was a couple more. A bunch of society articles about Danforth and his wife, research club and medical clubs and that sort of thing. Let's see, there was one letter to the editor by Danforth. He was the past president of the Wayne County Medical Society. Let's see what he says. I have not Googled him, so I don't know what he's about. Come on, it's going slow as hell. Let's see where this starts. Danforth rises to doctor's defense. See if I can make this page. Where the hell's the... This is not really anything. All right, let's see if we can find something. Dr. J.C. Danforth. I was just checking to see if I didn't post any personal on their lectures, clinics, and discussions on electrophysiotherapy. Lamp treatments as you increase the time. 1925. In other words, for each stated Cincinnati, that Cincinnati is fluoridized. Not very much on him. Is giving the lamp treatments as you increase the time. If you ever decrease the distance of the lamp. Shit. Anyways, I don't think lamp. If you all don't think lamp physiotherapy is anything significant to speak of. Let's see if there's more in books. Physician and surgeon. Not finding very much. Anyway, I think I'm belaboring this point here. Let's see what this is. 1960 Grosse Pointe Library. Grosse Pointe News. Control, find, Danforth. Dr. Danforth did not mention that more than 60 million people have rejected fluoridation. Also, 100 cities have thrown fluoridation out after a trial of varying lengths. Well, he's a doctor, so of course he's going to recommend it. Anyway, that's all for this book. I'm not finding much of anything besides the interesting book article about ghosts, poltergeists. All right, I saw. Goodbye.